Oh, how nice of you. Hi. Okay, we're starting this live. We're way cabin fevered up because we're with adult time. Look at her. She's going crazy.
I know, I'm so happy.
For those of you who are not familiar, this is Janay Robinson. She's one of our Dirtylicious instructors, and we were just talking about how we've enjoyed catching up because we've actually been talking for 20 minutes before we started recording, just getting caught up on adult time and adult interaction.
Totally.
Because we're all so like cabin fevered.
And normally we see each other because we all go to the same Dirtylicious.
I know.
Classes, so
not seeing someone for 1 week is like not seeing someone for a lifetime.
Time. Yes.
In Dirtylicious years.
You know, in hindsight, one of us should have been in a hazmat suit.
I wish.
I don't own one.
I don't either, but I want to get
one
a white just to be like,
hey, she has white fabric.
Stop.
Why do people own those? Like, why?
Not to get germs and stuff.
Like they legit?
Yeah.
I thought it was like to knock the oil on them.
No,
and stuff.
the doctors and nurses treating people with COVID-19 are wearing them. Like legit.
Scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, also, and it's probably because they learned that masks are bull crap. Have you read all that stuff? Masks are real, not real.
It's like,
I mean, the right kind of
some, but not like.
Well, no, I think it's like a time limit. Like after like 3 hours or something, it's like you got to change.
Oh, yeah. You have to change them.
Which makes no sense because doctors have been doing that for a lifetime. So they're getting their stuff.
Maybe it's perception.
I know. Well, having some experience in hospitals, they're on droplet control, which means that there's some respiratory virus around that can like get in the air. And so they have to be like fully suited up. They have to have like masks, like everything on.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so anyway, we're getting all caught up, and as you all know, it's coronavirus
Well, I
time.
feel like we need to show them.
It's been a week.
What you were showing us. So for those of you that don't know, Janay is actually a custom wedding dress, like designer.
Yeah.
Like a wedding gown designer. What's the actual title? I totally just butchered it.
What do you say that
custom
you do?
wedding dresses, custom wedding gowns. Both work.
She's a designer though. Will you show us some of the things you're working on? She's so incredibly talented. And luckily, you stayed busy for this initial.
People still get married.
I guess.
People still get married.
Sometimes at different times than they thought they would.
Oh, we have a lot less people at their weddings.
With only
there's one I'm making. I probably shouldn't show these. No, it's fine. The men aren't watching. There's one.
They're not watching.
She might be in the Dirtylicious group. I'm not going to say her
She's like, we're not saying,
hey,
this is
Don't say names.
By Janay, right? By Janay. There we go. No.
Wait, did you make that from scratch?
Oh,
and there's a few in back.
Oh, what's that? What's that copper brown one? Is that yours?
That's actually one. Yeah. Well, so that's an older one. That is one I stuck on the mannequin to take a picture of it for somebody, but it's actually one of mine. Like I wore it. I've worn it to a couple events. So.
Oh my gosh,
it's beautiful. Shiny. Sorry, I have
top. What's that top? That on the right.
So it's. I don't know. I'm just playing with this one. We'll see what it turns into. Because I don't know what it's going to look like yet. And it's not going to have.
I feel like that's what some people expect you to wear at Dirtylicious. You know what I mean? Like a totally sheer top
with X'd out tits.
We are like adults. Literally, like I've had conversations and been singing nursery rhymes all day. Like this is going to be wild. Okay, let's answer the questions.
Well, my problem is that I still say the things with my 3-year-old, and she repeats them.
It's true.
You're like,
Janay has so
many
stories.
of the songs I do dances to, and I'm like, did you just say like your neighbors are knocking on the wall, and then that you wanted me to sing the part where it says your legs keep shaking, and how we're breaking our headboard?
My favorite story Janay tells in her class, and then we'll get to the questions, is Janay in her Dirtylicious class always says, you guys, I want you to touch your bodies. We always tell our daughter that you can touch your body, but no one else can touch your body. So you touch your body, you guys. And Janay tells that.
And she'll be like, I can totally touch
my body.
That's right. You can touch your bum, but I like other people can't.
That's amazing.
But you guys
I
can
love
totally
when you say that.
touch your bums.
I love that so much.
More.
Oh, so good.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, okay. So Janay has been a long time Dirtylicious, used to be called Dirty Dancing.
OG
fan, OG, like literally OGs of OGs. I'm like trying to think. I'm like, you've come a long time. So tell us your story of how you first heard about the class, like my class eventually, or maybe was I not even the teacher? I don't even know. So tell us how you heard about it, first time you came, like how long you've been coming, all of that.
Okay. So you actually weren't the teacher the first,
Okay.
I think you became the teacher really soon after I started going, like within a couple of months. But I had a friend, coworker, girl I worked with that, invited me. She said, hey, she knew I danced. I had majored in dance actually. And I was kind of ramping down on how many classes I was taking a week and I was missing it. Anyway, and she's like, hey, I went to this class. She'd gone once and she's like, it was so fun. I think it would be like your jam. And so she's like, it's this dirty dancing class at Vasa. And I told her, I've seen that on the schedule, but I've never gone. Like, I think I would want to go with somebody.
It's probably Gold's Gym. It's probably Gold's Gym though.
Oh, it was Gold's Gym. It was Gold's Gym for a long time. Yeah. No, it was 100% Gold's Gym. You're right. Yeah. Gold's Gym. Are they even still? They just don't have.
There's like random ones, but yeah, there's
a few. Anyway, so it was at Gold's.
Yeah.
And I'd seen it on the schedule and I was like, yeah, let's go. And so I went with her. And I was pretty hooked from the beginning. I remember, so I did ballet my entire life. And the first couple classes I went, probably not even the first couple, but more than for a couple months, I was like, it took a lot to kind of loosen up and like get that out of me. I'm like, I don't have to be upright all the time. Like we can get down.
Yeah.
And so what was that?
She hasn't had adult interactions. That's what she said.
She said, you're like, we can get down. I'm like,
we can get down.
But no, you do. Like, actually, you're one of my favorite people to watch dance because you and your sister actually both.
I love when they dance together.
My sister's great.
Yeah, I love like you guys even dancing together because you like do it different, but like similar, but like different enough that it's like And you.
Oh yeah, because we had really different
like
backgrounds.
They hit it. Yeah,
dance wise.
Okay, so keep going. So you guys went.
Yeah, so we went. I loved it. She eventually kind of. She's like, well, yeah, she would come sometimes, but I was like pretty well, and it was once a week and I didn't even know that it was offered twice a week at that point because it was.
Yeah.
And so I would go, and then one time I saw the schedule and I was like, wait, this is offered on Thursdays too? And so pretty much since then I've been hooked, and she moved. She lives in Oregon now and supports from afar. But and I would occasionally bring friends here and there, but I've never been one to care if I went with somebody. I'm like, I'm going, I'm doing this for me.
You just
and
always go by yourself. Yeah.
Oh, always.
Been like this
and
past
I always
year.
put it in the back. I think for a long time I just felt, and I think maybe the dancer in me was such a perfectionist, and it's like, oh, I don't look like this, or so I didn't have the confidence for a long time, like years and years and years. Even though I probably had the dances down, I never saw the front.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, I'll just sit here in my comfy spot.
I love that because I think a lot of people think like, oh, people are really good dancers going to come in and they're going to kill it. And I'm not like using it as an example, but kind of it's like, no, even if you're an amazing dancer, you still have to have the confidence, you know what I mean? And like build that confidence too. So I love that.
Yeah.
And like,
I think it took me a minute to be like, oh, I could do hip, because I tried a couple, like, I know it's not all hip hop, but like that a
hip hop, like the
root. I've done some classes in the past, and I was always like, not felt humiliated, but felt just like, oh, I'm really bad at this. Yeah. And so it took me coming for a little while to be like, okay, no, like I can do this too. And I can put my own spin on it. I'm super white. I will always look pretty white, but you know what I mean? Like you can put your own spin on it and do it, even if you don't feel, I don't know.
Yeah, no, and it comes with time. The more you go, the more you feel comfortable, and it just comes.
Yes.
So how long would you say that you've been coming then? Like when do you think that was? Like 2010?
Probably like almost exactly 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So that would have been like 2012.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's 2012.
And because I started subbing in 2011. That's when I like became a gold.
So maybe someone was even subbing for you.
Well, I don't know, but then again, I think I was only subbing.
Just one of the class, just the Tuesday.
Was it at the time when there was one teacher or the two? Because remember how there was one on Tuesday and one on Thursday?
Well, so I don't know, because it took me like a year or so to realize there were Thursday classes. So I would just always,
because I only took over one day. I only took over Thursday first, and then I took over both.
So that's when I would have started going.
Yeah.
It's before you took over Tuesdays. But you took over Tuesdays soon after, and I remember my friend and I were like, oh, we like this girl's choreography. It's so fun. And then we always were excited when you would
Oh,
teach.
thanks. Oh, thanks.
Because I think you subbed a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally. The Tuesday class.
It started being
until
where
you
I was like
just took over.
subbing every week, and I would text her being like, "Do you want me to sub?" Rather than her asking me, "Can you sub?" So I was like, "Do you want me to sub again?"
I know, and I remember saying, "Hey, that girl that would always sub is like the main teacher now. Come," because she wouldn't always come with me. That's fine.
She just slowly trickled off. I guess
she wasn't as committed.
Yeah. And when you fall out of a habit of something, like that's what I'm worried about after all this is like, I've built my class up for years and years and years. It's never been canceled. Like I'm nervous that like all of a sudden I'm going to be like having to rebuild my class up again, you know, because people fall out of that.
Oh, I'm sure so many people will all be so excited to go back.
It's so true. Numbers. That's kind of true. I'm
antsy. It's been 1 week and I'm so antsy to go back.
So then what made you become a Dirtylicious instructor? Like why did you, what pushed you, what helped you, or you know what I mean? What's that story?
So when you guys announced that you were going to start training instructors and letting other people do this, I was excited. I thought, oh, that's something I want to do. But pretty immediately was like, I do not have time for this. I have a couple kids. One of them's kind of like, she's great. She's kind of medically complex. She takes a little extra time. And I have another business and I'm just busy. I'm like, I know myself and I just fill my life with like so many things and I shouldn't stress myself out and add one more thing. And then, a couple people had talked to me about it.
Like trying to get you to do it. Yeah.
No, you should do it. You should do it. And I finally was like, maybe I'll look into it. And so I think it was like a week. I signed up kind of last minute, like a week before. I'd kind of gone back and forth. And I was like, you know what? This is what I realized. I was like, Dirtylicious like fills my cup. It doesn't empty it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I think I do so many things that even though I love, like I do dresses. I love doing that. Like I'm so lucky to have a job doing something I really like, and being able to work from home and, you know, but it's work. It drains me like once I do enough of it. And my kids, again, I love them. They're amazing. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. They're a handful. I love them, but they can be draining.
Amen.
And I was like, no, this is something that's like not draining. It's like energizing and invigorating. And so I was like, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And I did it. And with the first, what do we call ourselves? Cycle 1.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy I did, but it like, I was back and forth because I'm just like, do I add one more thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would that be unwise? And then I felt like, no, I think it will be good. And it has been good. So
yeah. And it helps you stay healthy too. Like that's a huge motivator for me.
Oh,
like,
100%.
It gets me to go.
Like this past week, I can tell
that you're not
dancing. I can exercise at home. It's very different. I can tell I haven't gone and danced. Like dance really, like fills my cup, fills me up.
And it pushes you to have other people too. Yeah. So
yes, for sure.
So obviously Dirtylicious then has like changed, like you said earlier, your confidence has grown, but what's some other things, like how has Dirtylicious impacted your life? Like by being an instructor or even by being someone just attending a class? Like how did
That's a good question. So for me, and obviously like this experience, I don't want to say it's unique because I know there are a lot of other people, like there are other instructors and dancers, like attendees who come to the class, who are like this, but I know it's not everybody's case. For me, it filled my dance void so much because I danced my whole life and then I stopped for, it wasn't that long, but it feels like it was a long time. And then when I started coming to the class, I'm like, this is different. It's not, I'd done some Zumba classes and stuff before like that. It's different. Like you learn choreography, you do a dance. It's real. I know that that's part of, like the definition of Dirtylicious, like it's real dance. Yeah. And so it filled my dance cup in a way that
other things couldn't.
That other things couldn't. And I mean, dance, I feel like filled that cup my whole life. And then, but like I couldn't be doing 8 hours of dancing a day once I graduated from college and had a full-time job. And I'm just like, okay, but this is less structured. And it like,
and a lot of dancers, like no matter where you live in the country, you turn 18 and then it's like, I've done this my whole life. I've been training this my whole life. Now where can I go take a class? Now where can I go have fun? Nowhere.
For sure.
And if there's somewhere, it's really low attendance, like which sucks because then you're taking a class by yourself, or it's really expensive and you're like, this sucks, Yeah.
So, and I feel like it's like you get to that point, or for me, I was a little older because I majored in dance in college. Yeah. But you get to that point and you're like, dance is either I remember having a conversation and like bawling to my director about it in college. I'm like, dance either, because I was debating whether or not to try out for so I'd done the ballet company at BYU for a couple of years, and I was debating whether to try out a third year. And I'm like, either dance needs to be my life or it needs to turn into just a hobby. And as it turned into hard transition, hobby, it was like, it almost went away because I needed to finish up like, you know, other things in school. And I'm like, it can't be my life. I just know I have other passions and stuff. And so, so it's so nice to have something that I can go to that's less structured. And I feel like this applies to non-dancers too. It's like most adults with lots of things going on don't have the time to commit to like, okay, I'm going to become a dancer and train for 8 hours a day or whatever it is.
Most people
have time to hit the gym, and it's not, you know, most of the time people have punch pass classes or they have gym classes. You're not paying hundreds of dollars a month and I don't know. So it just opens dance up to so many people, and I think brings dance back into our life for people who have danced their whole life. But I feel like all those reasons are probably almost as applicable to somebody who hasn't danced. Cause like, I know, you know, girls who come to that class who like dance was never part of their background. And now I would 100% consider them a dancer. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah.
After coming for, you know, whatever.
A couple years. Yeah. Or a year. Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure. So
your
I think
your sisters even said
back into your life. So,
your sisters even said like, I'm not a dancer. I'm like, yes, you are.
So I have so for people who don't know, I have a sister who comes with me, Elise, and hi Elise, if you watch this.
She's only come for like a year or a year and a half.
Yeah, she started coming, I think, March Madness of 2019. She's come to a couple like classes with me here and there. Or Vasa class Fast Madness last March was when she started coming and then got a pass.
And then stayed,
got hooked as usual and got a pass. And so she danced here and there growing up, but that wasn't like
her thing.
Her life focus, and she is killer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, I love it.
So
okay, so tell us about your Dirtylicious. Like, what do you do? What are you most excited for with Dirtylicious in 2020? Like, all those things. Tell us.
Well, okay, I have some things I'm excited for. Dates are TBA at the moment. So I just recently started teaching a weekly class at the American Fork Vasa on Wednesday nights at 9:15.
Yay!
On hold for a moment.
Yes.
So, but as soon as they're back, we'll all have a huge party, right?
Yeah.
And so there's that, which is exciting. It's new, it's fun. I also I'm planning with a couple other instructors, like a ultimate power session, if you will, of
I love it.
Several different instructors, like several different dances during the day. I think a few of us got together. Not all of us have been dancers. A couple of us have been dancers for a lot of our lives, and some haven't ever, besides Dirtylicious. And we're like, we think like a whole day of Dirtylicious sounds like a dream come true. And so we're planning something like that.
That's so cool.
It's be a little sooner, and I don't have any dates, or I won't give you too many specifics because we'll wait until the whole, situation cools down. But I am really excited for that. So
I'm into that. And Janay, when we reschedule our Mean Girls dance party,
oh my gosh,
let's just say Janay's playing Caddy Heron.
Caddy.
I also have some shiny fabric for you.
And your
fabric.
And I really want you to just go find a really, maybe people think it's cute, a really oversized pink polo and wear it over every.
That's so funny. Well, you know what's so funny? That's exactly what my husband told me. I'm like, there's a Mean Girl dance party. I was like, that is the best theme ever. She's like, oh, just get like a huge pink polo. I'm like, exactly.
Oh, it's gonna be
on
so
Wednesdays.
good.
We wear pink. They're all dressed all sexy, and Katie's wearing it.
That part always I thought was so funny. I'm like, wouldn't they be more embarrassed to see her in that than just something like black that was still cute?
Agreed, 100.
Like, how is that okay? All right, but you know what? Whatever. Rock it. If you want to rock the extra large sweater, or not sweater, polo, go for it.
It's because it was her best friend.
Yeah,
she didn't even
own
one.
Damien's. It was Damien's.
She didn't even own anything.
She was like, I don't wear anything pink.
I don't own anything pink.
Like, oh, I do.
I got you. Yeah.
He like gave it to her.
Damien.
Oh, that's such a good one.
I want everybody to come. I want to come dressed as friggin' Damien. That's the easiest costume. A sweatshirt and just yell to everybody. She doesn't even go here. And if
You
anyone
are
just
just
wants to
cut.
volunteer to be the girl that eats her feelings, or what is it?
Oh my gosh.
Well, you love it. You love her. What did she say?
Let's bake a cake of smiles
Let's
and
all
rainbows.
just bake a cake of
Oh,
smiles
yeah.
and rainbows. And then doesn't she go and no one catches her or
Well,
something?
then she says Damien says she doesn't even go here. Tina Fey's like, do you even go to the school? And then she like tries to do the trust fall and it doesn't work.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
we just really want to reenact the trust fall.
Yes. Oh my
All of a
god.
sudden,
Please do.
everyone's
Wait, but don't
like,
hurt anyone.
Yeah. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, isn't that weird?
Oh, wait, I was like, reinvent it right now? Okay.
Oh snap, no one's gonna catch
I
you.
thought that's what you were doing.
Nick, Chelsea's husband. Anyway, okay. Janay,
Oh, man.
we love you. You're so fun. As you can tell, Janay is a good time. And she's hilarious.
I don't know.
You really are so fun
Yeah,
and
it's like
hilarious in
it's
your classes.
fun.
So
Oh my gosh.
look
You're
for
so
Janay.
nice.
Go follow Janay on, remind us of your Instagram.
Yeah, so it's Dirtylicious Janay.
Yes.
And Janay is
With a Y at the end.
Yeah,
But if you type in
J-A-N-A-Y.
J-Y-N-A, you'll probably find it.
Yeah.
J-A-N-A-Y.
Or, but there's Janelle, so you don't want to get them.
That's true. You follow both of us.
Yeah.
Follow Janelle too.
We're just like screwing Janelle in this. We love you, Janelle. Anyway, okay.
Don't go to that Janelle one. If it has L's at the end, don't follow it.
Follow
both.
Follow the Y one and the double L one.
Both.
We got you, Janelle.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Anyway, Janay's class Wednesday nights, and then a really awesome. What are you calling it? I loved what you called it. Super. Ultimate.
Like the ultimate power session.
Ultimate power session.
I've been calling it like the super sesh sometimes. I don't think that's what we're actually calling it.
The super
That's
session.
good.
Sounds like a really good makeout session. Anyway,
I've had a few of those. Been a minute.
I don't make out with my husband anymore.
And especially not.
Well, yeah, neither do I, but we did. We were dating. We dated for 4 years,
Our
you
fri-
guys.
4 years. That's a long time.
That is a long time. So you did have some good makeout.
We did.
Our good friends have asked us before, like, when was the last time you had a really good makeout session? We're like, I don't even know.
Like they usually last like 5 minutes.
Not even.
Yeah, not even.
And then something. Well, then other good things happen. It's fine. Yeah, see, you were so happy to talk to adults. I can't say these
See,
things
it was so fun.
Yes.
We loved it. And Janay is, like we said, Janay's really amazing wedding dress designer. So if you need
a wedding dress.
done or designed or whatever, Janay's your girl.
Or some custom costumes.
Or
for,
some
like, Mean
custom
Girls.
costumes. Like
Fine.
I know. Wait, where are those? Oh wait, I know. Where
I have some of it at my house. Some costumes.
We're not saying what
Oh, yeah.
you guys can
Yes.
use your imaginations.
My 3-year-old daughter's like very intrigued by the fabric. She just calls it the weird shiny fabric. She's like, "Hey, can you make me a skirt out of the weird shiny fabric?" I'm like, "No, sorry."
She's like, whose wedding dress is this?
She just wears that around and like.
Well, you know what's funny is everything's a wedding dress to her. So I'm making like someone not a wedding dress, like a pink dress, and she's like, "Oh, a pink wedding dress," or she's like, "Can we make me a green wedding dress?" So we like made her a little green dress.
Oh, like
and she's
she just thinks
it's her green
dress
wedding.
is like a
Anything
wedding
I'm
dress
sewing is a wedding dress.
in her
Cute.
brain. That's cute.
Kind of funny.
That's so fun.
So.
Okay, well, thanks for talking us, Janay. We love you, and you're so great. And good. Have fun quarantining.
Thanks. Have fun quarantining too.
Wait, are you an extrovert or an introvert? Because apparently, if you're introverted, it's like normal life.
I know my sister posted something like that. She was like,
I feel like
my
I
life.
need both.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
Like I
both.
need alone time and I also need time with people. But
Yeah.
I'm not. I'll tell you what I'm not. I am not a homebody.
Me
And,
too.
like,
I'm kind of the same.
It's I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Like I mean, I go places, but like even
Right,
my
it's not really
my kids are like, "Hey, can we go to Rockwell? Hey, can we go to the library? Hey, can we go here?" I'm like, "No, it's closed. No, it's closed. No, it's closed."
I know. I think kids
So.
are probably so confused.
My
They're like,
my son's totally confused. She's like, he just keeps saying like, I don't want to get germs. He wore winter gloves inside my house all day because he was like, I don't want to get germs.
That's
I'm
normal.
like, our house,
It's
we're keeping
hard.
our house clean.
I know. Well, my kids are young enough to not know what's going on, but old enough to get antsy as crap.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll
And
see
me
you
too.
today. Have
Thank
fun.
you.
Hopefully sooner than later. Bye,
She's
guys.
hugging her computer.
Bye.
Oh,